Hello, good evening, and welcome to the best and brightest audience in all of the fountain pen community. Welcome to the Hemingway Jones live fountain pen show. I am delighted to be your host, your guide, your Virgil through this inferno, the seven rings of fountain pen addiction, or whatever you'd like to call it. I'm just absolutely delighted to be here tonight. This is something I've been really ambitious to do in quite a long time. I was actually going to do it in my regular rotation, but I decided to do it live. So what could possibly go wrong? Hopefully nothing. I've tested it and I have set it up, so we should be good. So all indications are go. We're going to get to it almost right away because knowing me, it'll take the whole hour. See a lot of thumbs ups already. I appreciate that. Thank you all. It's lovely to see everyone in the chat. And if you're watching this in the replay, thank you for being here and for watching. My lighting looks good tonight. I'm looking at myself in the monitor. That's pretty nice. I am growing my hair out. As I've mentioned, I might trim it up a little bit just to keep it in check. But it's coming along nicely. I'm happy about that. I have this like crazy wave. It's this side going on, which is a lot of fun. So a word about tonight's proceedings. I will be critiquing virtually every fountain pen brand I could think of that I've used. So that's a criterion. I feel like it's not really fair for me to talk about pens that I haven't used or a brand. It's just not fair. I may be hard on some of these brands tonight. I may rank them in a spot that you disagree with, in which case I encourage you to let me know. There will be no opinion that is ever off topic of conversation here. Just be polite about it if you would. There's no reason to get angry. People get angry sometimes in comments. If you disagree, the best way for me to notice and appreciate it is for you to be funny and witty. That's what really buys a lot of currency here. Sort of the currency of the Hemingway Jones channel is wit and self-expression and inspiration. So if you disagree, feel free to let me know, but please do so in a respectful and interesting manner. And it could be featured if I really like it. Speaking of featured, Eric Guzman, how are you? Sick rugby shirt, Hemingway. Goat level swag today. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I love rugby shirts. It's one of my casuals. I also like to wear them over Oxfords, by the way. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on. They're burning bright tonight. But it's kind of like a cool thing if you wear an Oxford shirt and then you wear this like a sweater. So kind of a look I do, which is a lot of fun. So briefly, new video coming out this week. It's an exciting one. It is sort of a rumination and a pick for the best business fountain pen. So the best fountain pen for the office. I go through all the criterion, the things that I think suit a business pen perfectly, and then I narrow it down to the one perfect pen that's actually sitting in my office, or I'd show you it. Well, I guess if I showed you it, I'd ruin the video. So maybe it's a good thing that it's sitting in the office. So that's this week's video. And last week, I toured my desk, and you guys seemed to enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching that one. It was a lot of fun. I did mention that I had some further thoughts about my desk, and I would mention it tonight. So those of you that were paying attention to that, I will mention it. And that is, I think I've decided that I'm going to move this desk. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it just doesn't have enough real estate for what I need to do. And actually, my setup tonight is perfect for it. But what I'm thinking of doing is putting it on the porch maybe, or up in the guest room. The porch would be nice because I could still film there. And I never got rid of my old desk. So I'm just thinking about bringing my old desk back. So I know that's nutty, but I miss the real estate. I just like to slump. How else am I going to slump over my desk? So that is what I'm thinking, which seems a little batty, but hey, I'm an eccentric. What can I do? Okay, I don't want to prattle on too much. I thought we would get to this because I think it's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy the topic tonight. Take it in the good spirit that it is intended. It's a topic of conversation and something for us to sort of ruminate on. Okay? So let's see if the setup works. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Oh, yes. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I am so proud of myself. I didn't have enough time, sadly, to put in all the symbols. I would have preferred to have the symbols there in all the squares. But at least we have something here we can talk about and deal with. Now, let's talk about our tiers, shall we? The first one is flawless victory. So if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, then you know flawless victory is when a brand is just flawless across the board. This is incredible QC, unimpeachable quality, an incredible lineup of fountain pens, unfailing QC, just the best of the best, the creme de la creme, top shelf, God tier, just about any other sort of comparison you can make to flawless victory. So that's our top. That's where we aspire. And then if you fall a little short, you're pretty great. We love almost everything you do, but you fall short for whatever reason. You don't quite reach the spire. You climb Everest, you get close, you back off. That is our elite tier. Elite, right there. Now, average, I was trying to think of something fun for average, and I came up with a Larry David reference. So it's a pretty good. Pretty good. So that's, kind of average, but, pretty good. So not terrible at all, but sort of benchmark. You did enough. You came, you saw, you wrote, and then I probably forgot about you. You're average. The next tier is, sketchy. Sketchy. And not in the artistic sense that they're fun to sketch with. No, these are somewhat of the dodgy brands. The ones that, it's sort of a toss of the dice as to whether or not you're going to get something that works reliably forever across the board. Okay? This one could be interesting. And then the bottom is hard pass. So these are the ones that are sort of hopelessly problematic. The ones that I personally don't appreciate the aesthetics or that just don't really work for me. So, what do we think of my tiers? Do we all kind of get it? So if you want to take the fun part away, this is just like flawless victory is exceptional. Elite is very good. Pretty good is good. Sketchy is not so good. And hard pass is bloody awful. Okay? So I hope that makes sense for all of us. And as I said, this is for fun. So, and it definitely gives you insight into how I think. Because I need to do this out loud. I need to talk our way through all of it. So, without much more yapping, let's get started with Pilot. Oh, geez, Pilot. How do I go back? Okay. Oh, okay, like this. Okay, I'm okay. I recovered. I'm technologically challenged. This is impressive, though. At least we have something. And I'm assuming you can all see this because nobody's complaining saying, hey, Hemingway, we can't see what you're doing. So, let me recognize Tim Doc Harper before we get started. Tim Doc, thank you. He says, ooh, Timmy, the techno graphics guru. Not quite Tim Doc with your $10 super chat, which I appreciate, and you, but thank you. I guess it would have been nice if I had the logos and the squares. I kind of thought of that after the fact, but I'm always putting myself down. Why am I putting myself down? I did this. It's okay. Tim, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You got a great name, and I really appreciate you. Okay, so our first box tonight is, I know it looks like Magna Carta, but I want to do Pilot first, which is next to it. So Pilot, where would I put Pilot? You know, Pilot means a lot to me. Pilot means more to me, I think, the more I get into fountain pens even, which sounds funny, like you'd think I'm into them as much as I'd ever would be, but it's a learning process and it's a learning curve, I think, for everyone. And I'm going deeper and deeper. And the more I do and the more I obsess, the more I appreciate Pilot and what Pilot does, what Pilot brings to the table. I personally think that Pilot probably has the most amazing selection of high quality writing instruments. And Namiki's separate. I took Namiki out of it. They're on the list, but I'm just speaking about Pilot. Pilot starts at, Metropolitans and Placers, and you have E95S's. You have iconic models in there. You have the Vanishing Point, which has been around for 60 years and just absolutely incredible. You have the Pilot Custom 823, which I would be lost without, and my Pilot Custom Urushi, which I love all the way at the top end. So much there with Pilot. And then they have great inks too, but we're only talking about pens. I might put some of your comments up while we talk. Sister Goldenhair has Pilot at Elite. That's an interesting take. I like that. I could support that. I really could. I see that Liz here has Pilot at Flawless Victory. I could see that. That's very good. Let's see. Honestly, guys. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. I got to remember to grab the right one. Okay. I am going to put Pilot. Uh-oh. What happened here? All right, hold on. Wait. There seems to be something here. Oh. There's like something in the way. Just give me a second. Oh, where'd Pilot go? I lost Pilot. Oh, there it is. Okay, I put it in the wrong spot. I have Pilot. Sorry about that. First one, you're going to have a little glitch here. This is live. Pilot I do have as Flawless Victory. And the reason is, when you think of the Pilot Pen Corporation, Pilot probably makes 100 times more pens than almost every other brand on this list. And that is impressive. And the level of consistency and product competence and execution and the sort of variation in products. How you have a pen like the Urushi, which is traditionally Japanese, and you have the Metropolitan, which is much more of a sort of pedestrian pen where you could find it in more places, or the Pilot Custom 823, which has a distinctive feel. It's just amazing how varied Pilot is. Pilot, love Pilot. Flawless Victory for me. Never have had a bad nib from Pilot, which is very good. Okay, so Pilot is our first choice. It does feel a little weird moving these around because I have a monitor and I have I have another monitor on the side. So I have to remember to grab these in the right spot. So our next one is Magna Carta. Magna Carta from India, who is very impressive with their flex nib on the 600 and the 650, which I love. I do love it. It'd be tough for me to put it in Flawless Victory because it seems like their nib hit ratio is about, I don't know, 60, 70%. I don't know. I can't quantify it, but that's how it feels in talking to many of you who are owners of Magna Cartas. I had some other ones. I had the Cathedral that wrote very well, but it was kind of a weird big pen. I still have, actually I don't have it. I just gave it away to someone. But you know, nice. I have another Magna Carta pen here that was given to me at the DC Pen Show, and I asked for a spec sheet on it so I could do a video, and I never got it, and it's just sitting here in plastic, which is interesting. So yeah, can't put Magna Carta in Flawless Victory. I don't feel like I can put it in Elite either, to be honest, even though I appreciate that flex nib and what they accomplished. I appreciate. Congratulations. That flex nib is so choice if you get a good one. Pretty good. I think I'd be stretching it to put it in pretty good. I'm sorry. I feel bad, but I have to be honest. I think for Magna Carta, I have to go with... is that going to end up... Well, not quite. Sorry. It's hard to get it in the right spot here. Hold on. I'm trying to put it in sketchy. So. Boy. There we go. Okay, I'll get the hang of it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Magna Carta is a little sketchy. Maybe you disagree. Feel free to come at me, bro, in the comments, as the young people say. I do like the nib, but I find it a little off. Now, Ranga is another Indian brand. The one I have is, I'm trying to remember the name of the model. It's made out of ebonite, and it's a little big for me, but it's really well done. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's sort of, I'm thinking of the plaid. I think it's named after the famous plaid from India, whose name is escaping me, which is a shame because the plaid was invented by people trying to recreate their tartans in India out of the colors that were available there. So if somebody could jog my memory, please, in the chat, I'd appreciate it. But Ranga, very nice company. I only have one of their offerings. I'm putting it in pretty good. Pretty good. Madras, Lady Manx. Thank you. Madras. Yeah, I think it's called the Madras. So, yeah, Manga could probably chart higher if I had more of them. And I'd like to. I love ebonite as a material. It feels so good in your hand. But the one I bought's kind of oversized, and it could be a little better for me. Okay, let's grab another one. Majan. Okay, so Majan, my experiences with Majan, I got about a 50-50 hit rate with Majan, unfortunately. I do love that sort of Moonman fat pen of theirs. I love that. I didn't own it very long because my wife liberated it from my collection, as many of my cute pens get liberated by my darling wife, which I am okay. I'm okay with that. She's happy, I'm happy. So, but Majan, I did have some other models. The nibs were sadly, what do we say? Let's see. Yeah, they were a little sketchy, sadly. I have not had the best of luck with a lot of brands out of China, but I'm doing a lot better. I got an Asvine M800 still in the box that I'm dying to sink my teeth into, but I also have a Hongdian M2, which is right here, actually. And there's a video coming up. I did a whole video on this, so Hongdian M2. So my experiences are getting better. Also Leonardo. We're gonna have some Leonardo on the channel soon. That'll be fun. Okay. So How we doing? You guys enjoying this? I'm having a blast. Ooh, Chris Signs, sorry. Chris Signs, please do this with ink brand someday. That's a great idea. I will do that. Thanks, Chris. I hope you're well. I hope your channel's going well. Love Chris. Speaking of other channels, I was on the Juicy Broads podcast, so check that out if you would. You get to see me in a different light, and hopefully I was a good guest for them. Try to be a good guest. Okay, our next one is Fountain Pen Revolution. I am a huge fan of Fountain Pen Revolution. I love the Himalaya. I love its Ultra Flex. I think it's one of the best values of any fountain pen maker out there. In fact, I think I'll place it and then we'll talk some more. So, do I have it? Okay. It's a little hard because I'm doing this with my left hand. Okay. I'm putting it in Elite. And I want to defend that and tell you why. Because you might think, wow, that's crazy. They're so affordable, $70 or whatever they are. Actually, I think they're like $35, $40. But then you buy the Ultra Flex nib and it adds like another $20 or something. Sometimes I have buy one, get the second one free, or get the second one half price. I forget what it is, but they always have these great sales. I have two. They're both brilliant. And I honestly think if you came to me and said, Hemingway, I want to buy something interesting that's fun and maybe write a little differently. What do you recommend? I don't want any hassle, though. I just want it to work. Get a Fountain Pen Revolution. It's going to work. It's going to be nice. It's going to be pretty. It's going to look more expensive than, $50, $60, $70. It feels like $100, $120 pen. Very, very, very nice indeed. Okay, we have a heavy hitter next up. Ooh, I am scared. Todd Rasmussen says, I've never tried one. Maybe I should. Todd, I honestly think you should. It's rare for me to say, buy a pen. I'm not a pen salesman. I'm not a pen shop. I'm about inspiration. I don't care if you guys ever buy another pen. For me, it's just about thinking about them, enjoying them, and having fun like this. But if you were to ask me, $50, $60, $70, whatever it is, FPR is worth it all day long. Conway Stewart. Oh, Conway Stewart. I have a very, very good relationship with Conway Stewart. I love Conway Stewart. They make some brilliant pens. I love the Churchill. I love that they make a lever fill. I can't think of another company that makes a lever fill. Maybe nobody should make a lever fill because they're really kind of a pain, really, when you think about it. They're not very reliable. I'm not picking on Conway Stewart. I'm saying any lever fill, if you jostle them around too much, they get nauseous and they get an upset stomach, and it's like dealing with a child who is learning how to drink out of a bottle. So not the best. But they have captive converters, cartridge, all that. Beautiful craftsmanship in Conway Stewart. Interesting themed pens. Always fun to make a video on their narrative. So I have a good time with them. I'm wrestling with this. I'm thinking out loud. They're not flawless victory for me because they have Yovo nibs, even though that nib is finished by John Siricow, which is great to have like a nibmeister finishing the nib. That adds a lot of value. So it's not like a stock off the shelf Yovo nib, but it's also not like an artisanal nib, as if it's made in-house like Lamy. Lamy's nibs are made in-house. Waterman, there's a lot of pen brands, or at least as far as we know, are made in-house. So I can't put it in flawless victory. It's just not there. I'm kind of vacillating between elite and pretty good. I think it's fair to put Conway Stewart into elite because their quality is impressive. You can customize whatever you want. They make everything bespoke except the nibs. Now, I do appreciate the Sirocco touch. That's brilliant. But it's not a wholly artisanal. So I'm putting it in elite status. Though the quality, extraordinary. Extraordinary. That's what I think. So, what shall we do next? I see Mont Blanc. Oh, Mont Blanc. I am a fanboy of the venerable House of Mont Blanc. As you know, I have made multiple videos and will continue to. I also feel like I have earned the right to criticize them because I've certainly departed with quite a bit of treasure in pursuit of them. I have sometimes made mistakes like the Wes Anderson pen, which I think is an utter disaster. For that reason alone, I would never put them in flawless victory. Also, the QC has a major issue. In fact, when I was on the Juicy Broads podcast, Lori had just bought a Burgundy 149, and she mentioned how she had to swap the nib out because it was bad. And then the second one she got was also bad. So that's double bad. My fine was bad, and then Kirk Spear fixed it. Anyway, I'm going on and on and on. Let's rank Mont Blanc. It's almost sketchy, guys. It's almost sketchy because of QC. It's certainly not flawless. Elite, though, I mean, incredible brands. A 149, that's elite. But then dodgy QC, and you're spending a lot of money for it. Oh my gosh, am I going to do this? I think I'm going to do this. I might feel differently tomorrow. I'm going with pretty good. Oh, that's harsh, but I'll tell you, Mont Blanc, you lost a lot of your prestige and your aura of luxury to me when you upped your prices while dropping your quality. And I don't think we can argue anymore that they don't have some QC issues. I'm just hearing it repeatedly, and I'm getting it firsthand. And I've had issues. Kirk Spear mentioned that my nib just wasn't finished. So, there you have it. Has anyone guessed me 100%? Anyone? I think the Mont Blanc in pretty good is controversial. And it's tough. And the reason I'm hitting them this hard, because I feel like elite is probably where it belongs, but their QC is very, very troubling right now. On nibs, not on anything else. I've noticed the pen bodies, whoever does the decoration, fantastic. But they're having an issue with the nibs. So, there we have it. I'm going with it. It's controversial. I could probably stick it in between elite. You can see I'm struggling with this, but let's go to Benu. Oh, Benu. Benu's an interesting brand. They make some beautiful pens. They make some weird pens. They have very generic nibs. That's problematic for me. I do like some of their designs. They were supposed to send me a pen. We were talking, as I do sometimes with brands, and they were going to send a Swan Lake pen, which I was going to make a whole Swan Lake video on like ballet and they never sent it. So for that, I'm putting hard pass. No, I wouldn't do that. I really don't care. But it would have been a cool video. I should just buy one and make the video anyway. But Benu, they do a great job with their materials, the acrylics, and all of that. So I do like that. But where do I rank them here? Oh, I would say I would put them... I'm going to have to put them in pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. Because their nibs are kind of unremarkable. David Pearson's, my friend. How are you? David Pearson says, my new 149 Burgundy came in and was great out of the box. Maybe MBE is getting their QC together finally, but I agree with pretty good for the moment. David, I hope so, but Lori just got hers and it was a disaster. She got 2 bad nibs. So I think I would consider myself lucky. If I were you, my friend, you are lucky. You're just a wonderful person. And thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. All right, guys, Lamy. Now, Lamy's an interesting brand, right? We have a bunch of icons here. We have the 2000, which is exquisite and interesting, basically made out of plumbing supplies, with the brushed stainless steel and the Macrolon. Who doesn't love a Lamy 2000? Okay, I know a lot of you don't, but I didn't for a while, but it's pretty nice. We also have pens like my recently acquired Lamy Studio, which will be coming up in a video shortly. So I'm not going to give too much away there. Lamy Safari, one of my favorite pens of all time. So where do I put this? I think Lamy does a fantastic job. They have in-house nibs across the board. Some really interesting ones too. So, it's pretty great. I think their QC is pretty great. Occasionally hear some things about scratchy Safari nibs, which is surprising because they do test them all, but I think their QC is pretty good. They're not flawless victory, though, guys. They're not flawless victory. Are they pretty good? They're pretty good, that's for sure. But I think I'm putting them in elite. Elite. Because their QC seems pretty solid from my perspective. They have iconic pens and they're ubiquitous. And they're just brilliant. I love Lamy. So I feel pretty comfortable putting it in elite. 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 Okay. There we have it. Let me see. What should we do next? Let's do platinum. Oh, platinum. I do have some experience with platinum. I think I might have misspoke earlier and called a Pilot one of the platinum models' names. So please strike that from the record. But now that we're back on track with platinum, I have a few. I have some low-end platinums. I have some upper-end platinums. How do I feel about platinum? Gosh, I kind of feel bad. I wish I had more because I don't have too many of their upper ends. I do really like them. I'm putting platinum, once again, another in-house nib maker, in elite. Elite for platinum. And note to self, I need to get my hands on more platinums. I do like what I've seen so far, but I can't quite say that it's flawless. And we haven't hard passed anything yet. I hope we do, because it'll be really boring otherwise. And I would have to say, like, pretty good elite and flawless victory, especially elite and flawless victory, are very close. Very close indeed. Now, this is a tough one. TWSBI. TWSBI, oh, the venerable house of TWSBI. With your incredible Yovo nibs that just write like nothing else, well, you're not going into flawless victory. You crack too often for that, which I hear from a lot of people, though I've never cracked any of mine, and I have many. But I hear it from firsthand sources, and you have to listen to the data as it comes into your brain. So, not flawless victory. Elite can't be elite if your bodies are breaking, even occasionally. So TWSBI, as much as I love you, and you know the Eco is a favorite of mine because the Eco is a fantastic pen for throwing in any ink that you want. You don't have to worry. It'll be fine. TWSBI's going in pretty good. It is pretty good. It's pretty darn good. It's a great pen brand. They need to up their quality control a little bit, though. I know they've improved their recipe and things, but still, I think we should also hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. Oh, Mary, lovely Mary, guys. We got to take a minute. Mary Madwood, a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. HJ, I love this ranking program. Thank you for creating this. Colorful. Forgetting this. Colorful. I think that's supposed to be Tim. But thank you so much, Mary. You are the best. So nice. Thank you for the super chat and for keeping the lights on. Pelican. Oh boy, this is a tough one. I can't say my Pelicans are flawless because my M600 has a nib issue. And that's a problem because it shouldn't, but it does. My M1000 is brilliant. I mean, better than a 149 brilliant. A fantastic writer. It's the M1000 and the Pilot Custom Urushi, they can have a conversation. Like, they live in the same neighborhood. It's that good. The M800 is perfectly proportioned. It's sort of the 146 of the Pelican world. I do feel like Pelican gives you a little more than Montblanc does. A little bit more finishing, beautiful materials. You got to like those stripes, though, right? A lot of stripes going on there. So Pelican is not flawless because, let's face it, they're just not flawless. Elite. Man, I just can't see putting Pelican in pretty good. So I have to go with Elite for Pelican because it's impressive what they do and how consistent they are with it. And I even liked my Twist before it was acquired by my wife for my collection. Cartier. I threw Cartier on here, but I probably should not have because it's essentially a Montblanc pen with a Cartier coat. The one I have is flawless. It is truly flawless victory, but it's really it's Richemont, right? Isn't that who owns Cartier and Montblanc, I think? So I got to put it on the same tier because I'm assuming you'll get a similar experience. Even though mine is flawless victory. The Diablo in Chinese lacquer is so choice and a rare beast. I never see them. Certainly not on the used market. I think anybody who has one holds on to it. Occasionally somebody sends me a link and they're like, look, here it is. I found it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the black one. It's the Chinese lacquer in red. It's brilliant. Esterbrook. Oh, my. Another company who I love everyone at Esterbrook. They're the nicest people in the world. The whole company, all their salespeople, Brian, everyone. Love those guys. I don't like it when they just have the basic nibs, but they have their own custom grinds. I do think they're a little pricey for what you get. I do hear occasionally people get scratchy pens. So I can't put it in flawless. I can't quite put it in elite. I'm going to put it in pretty good. Only because they're kind of pricey. I should probably try a custom grind. I've never had a journaler nib or anything. It might make me feel different. But I really love Esterbrook. So there you have it. Maybe borderline controversial. Certainly the most beautiful or one of the most beautiful pens out there from a materials point of view. And as I said, customer service, everybody there, really, really lovely. Okay. Piniter. I love when I was in Italy, there were Piniter stores all over the cities that I was in, which was super fun. I have a, twin tank touchdown, which is made out of Corningware, essentially. Brilliant. Interesting comparing that to like a Pilot Custom 823 or a TWSBI VAC 700. Also have the Grande Bellezza, which is exquisite. That Quill nib is an interesting writing experience. I highly recommend it because it is truly different. I have to put Peniter for me in elite because they're very well made, very, very good pens. Oh, Sailor. Oh, Sailor. Oh, that's tough. See, now this is a little tough for me because I want to say this in advance. I don't feel like I can be fair to Sailor because I don't have a king of pens. I don't have upper end Sailors, and I have never had use of one. I didn't even write with one, so I know mostly the lower end Sailors, but they're really good, and they're once again make their own nibs. We might have to pick up the pace here, guys. I'm very long-winded. I'm going with elite for Sailor, even though I could see it possibly being flawless victory. Flawless victory. All right, I'm doing Waterman because I agree. I believe firmly that Waterman is the most underrated and underappreciated fountain pen brand out there. I think it's brilliant. I love them. They top out at 300. Well, 300 for base model with the Karen. Actually, Karen's not their most expensive model, right? They have the Expert, I think it is. That top tier square one, which I've never written with. I've never even seen it. If anyone has written with the top end Waterman, can you let me know? I would appreciate it. But for me, I can't put Waterman in flawless victory, but I'd like to because they're brilliant. But it's definitely elite to me. Elite with Waterman. Love Waterman. Cannot get enough Waterman. Love it. Okay. Namiki. That's easy. Namiki. Flawless victory. Can you tell I love Pilot Namiki? Sincerely, I have a Namiki pen with the Great Wave on it, and it's brilliant. So that's a flawless victory for me. I adore it. Hongdian. I don't have a lot of experience with them, but what I do have, I am extremely impressed with. Extremely impressed with. I've written with 3. I'm putting in elite. Incredible quality and an incredible value. So Hongdian, good on you. You're doing something right. Thank you. I got a super chat. Thank you. Oh, I love it. I got 2 super chats. It's a Cohen, my friend. How are you? Says, it's hard to see Mont Blanc and pretty good. 1999 super chat. I know. I feel like it belongs in elite, but their QC is so awful lately. I'm hearing from so many sources and even by myself. My fine, Kirk Spear said, just wasn't finished. That's, when you spend that kind of money, it should be finished. But I don't disagree with you, my friend. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. And Gotsy with a $5 super chat. Thank you. My first Watchman will be delivered this week. Watchman Karen, Lessons to Blue. Your love of them made me want to check it out. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it. I really do hope you like it. Thank you. Thank you for your generous super chat. I really appreciate it. And thanks for all the thumbs up, guys. I see them going. I'm sure the YouTube gods will be pleased. Yard of Lead. Yard of Lead, once again, very nice people bringing pen making back to its original spot in England. Incredible vintage style, Victorian style fountain pens. Sadly, the nibs aren't made in-house. That's kind of a big detractor. They're also frightfully expensive. Frightfully. But if you can get your hands on one, I do recommend it. They are a lot of fun to write with. Put you in a certain vintage mindset, like few other things. So I do like a yard of lead. Yard OLED. But it's not Flawless Victory with a nib not made by you. It's also frightfully expensive. So I think I really love them. I love Yard OLED. The one I have is fantastic. But I have to put it in pretty good. And only because they're very expensive and you're not getting an artisanal nib. I'd love to put it in Elite if they could make their own nibs. And I hate picking on a British pen brand because I love England, as you know. All right, Jinhao. Oh, Jinhao, how I want to love thee and how you let me down almost every time. Jinhao has one of the coolest symbols of any fountain pen I can think of. I love, what's a little chariot? It's just so cool. Sadly, I only have maybe a 50% success rate with Jinhao. So I got to put you in sketchy, my friend. I'd love to see you rise. I really would, because I'm rooting for you, but you keep letting me down. And don't let me down, Bruce. Okay? Don't let me down. St. Dupont. St. Dupont. I only have one. It's right here. It's always around me. That's how much I love this pen. It is brilliant. It is a steel nib fountain pen. I got this for $225. I'm going to bring this to the next pen show with me. And if you want, I'll let you write with it. And I want you to see how this feels as good as a Mont Blanc, as good as a Pelican. And this is a $225 pen. Although I hear you can't get them for that because like an idiot, I keep talking about them. I should just buy them and then talk about them. But that's how it is. That's how I am. I don't stop yapping about pens because I love them. I don't feel like I've tried enough of them to put it in Flawless Victory, though. But I feel like St. Dupont belongs in Elite. 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 Okay. Diplomat. Another German brand. More of a lower end brand. I don't know if there's a gold nib Diplomat. Let me know if there is. I would appreciate it. I would love that. Let me see. Diplomat. How do I put them? Diplomat, very solid. Really great writers. Better than pretty good. I'm putting them in Elite. Diplomat. Did I put it in the right spot? Yes. Okay. I really like them. I did a fun video with John Wick on a Diplomat Viper. I had a blast making that video. Really interesting sort of tactical pen. So very, very cool. Kaweco. Ooh, Kaweco. Kaweco has some... Kaweco is... I love Kaweco, but they do have some bum nibs on occasion. I've always had great luck, but I do hear things. I love where they're going. I love the piston-filled sports. They are brilliant to me. I do love the brass and the bronze sport. I love how iconic the sport is. But, you know, in a way, Kaweco's a little bit like Tudor in the watch world, where the Tudor brand rests too much on Black Bay watch model, and I feel like Kaweco rests too much on the sport. They should make more wider, different, more. Okay. But that being said, is it Elite or pretty good? It's not Flawless Victory. It's certainly not sketchy or a hard pass. This is a tough one. This is tough for Kaweco, guys. I'm having a hard time. I'm going to have to go with Elite, and I'll tell you why. I really appreciate brands that give you value. Some of Kaweco's can be expensive, like the piston-filled sports, but the fact that you can get a pretty solid pen for $35, I love that. and it makes a very accessible pen. Okay. Omas, the modern Omas. This is modern. So I know a lot of you had or have, perhaps you still have, perhaps, I don't know. It looks like Omas is reconciled, that the two stakeholders that had any standing in the Omas name have united. At least when last I saw. I haven't looked into it recently. I have a Bologna, and I have another one whose name escapes me at the moment. They're incredible pens, and they're incredible values. I can't imagine if both sides of the house come together, what they could produce. I wrote with a whole bunch of Omas pens at the Empire Fountain Pen Show, the Empire State Fountain Pen Show in New York back in October. Alexandra of Alexandra's Art and Sanity was mining the booth, and I was writing with all the pens. So I got hands-on with quite a few, and I'll tell you guys, they are brilliant. No matter what you feel about the brand, they're great. Their nibs are superb. They're just great writers. I got to put them in elite. I'm sorry if that upsets you, but it's just personal experience. Every one I have is great. And I feel like if they unite, they're only going to be better. Better. Gravitas. Oh, Ben Walsh, you mad lad. One of the nicest, most intense guys out there. I love him to death. Great on the pen making, not so great on the fulfilling, getting things shipped quickly and all that. Historically, I've heard that's getting better. I don't operate in those channels when they give me pens, so I have to disclose that to you. Most of the time, Ben just says, "Here, have this." But brilliant, everything that he makes. But fulfillment could be an issue. But I have to celebrate the little guys. I got to put him in elite because what he does is so amazing. So much hard work goes into it. He came up with his own style nib, all this. I appreciate that. And I do support the smaller makers. So I do appreciate it. Tom Morley, I see you're saying that Aurora should be a flawless victory, but here's the problem. I have an Aurora Optimo O Sole Mio, and it's a disaster. It writes horribly. And I love everything about it. I love the color. I love the piston fill. I'm taking it in April to Kirk Spear, and I'm going to turn it into a Cursive Smooth Italic. So, I just don't know, my friend. I can't put it in flawless victory because it's been a flawless fail for me, even though I appreciate the materials. But I feel like I'm an outlier, but I've only tried one, and I have to be fair. I like it, but I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, I put it in pretty good. I think I'm going to put it in sketchy. I mean, mine doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I bought this with my money. It wasn't even a freebie. So, sorry. I hope it rises, and I'll try to get my hands on other ones. But, Aurora, you're very bad. Now, I guess shame on me for not exercising my warranty. But sometimes I just don't want to bother people in the business that sell me something. Maybe I should have just exercised my warranty. But it's kind of dreadful, sadly. Speaking of dreadful, oh, Visconti. I kid. Do I kid? I kid. I mean, Visconti makes the Homo sapiens Bronze Age one of the most amazing fountain pens ever made. If it writes for you, the Mythos is pretty great. I believe they outsourced that nib. I tried their other one. Is it the Opera series? I think it's called. Brilliant. Oh, so wet. I was so tempted to buy that. I think that was at the Philly. No, it wasn't. Sorry. It was at the Commonwealth Pen Show. Oh, Visconti, you have QC issues on your flagship, so you can't be flawless victory. You should be elite. That's where you belong, but your QC's so bad that you're in pretty good. But Visconti, I am rooting for you. I want you to turn things around, okay? I want you to do something better, okay? Navalar, Narwhal. Can't post them. I don't like the porthole. They're kind of fat. They're nice, but they're kind of unremarkable. Yeah, I'm passing on Navalar. I just don't like them. It's me. It's not you. There's nothing inherently wrong. I didn't think I'd have anything in hard pass, honestly, but I don't like Navalar. I just don't. I try to like them. They're pretty, but they're awkward. They don't work for me. Conklin. Oh no, Conklin's kind of a Yovo nib delivery device. I think Conklin's a fine pen to start with. For me personally, it's a hard pass. I'm not buying any pen that's just kind of Yovo, or Schmidt or any of those that are outsourced nibs. I'm just not going to do it. Schoen Design, Ian Schoen. Oh, Ian, much taller in person than you expect. I'm 6'2", and he's taller than me, but he has a lot of hair. Could be a hair. But he is a really lovely guy. An incredible innovator. Incredible innovator. I see Pots and Pens puts Visconti as hard pass. Too expensive for constant nib issues. Yeah, I can understand that. I can appreciate that. I mean, you could say it about Mont Blanc soon, right? So Schoen, Ian, I love you, buddy. I support the small makers. I think Ian, he invented a nib. The guy's brilliant. I love him. Ian Schoen is elite. Elite. Opus 88. It's my only pen that's no, I guess it's not my only one. Eyedropper. But it's a Medusa. It's a beautiful pen. Where would I put you? It's beautiful. It writes well. Doesn't super motivate me, but it's high quality. I'm putting it in pretty good. So, wow, there you have it. We actually made through all of those. I am shocked. Take a screenshot now and look at it and argue with me in the comments respectfully, and I'd appreciate it. It's hard to make these calls, guys, to be honest. It's hard. Even for me, I have such affection for every pen, but this is certainly how I feel in the moment. The one that I'm vacillating on is Mont Blanc in pretty good. It could be an elite just as well, but it earned that with its status, but it's got to get its QC in order. It has to. It's could be making a very bad turn that we could see going in a different direction for a long time. So that's really important. With this new setup, by the way, I'll be able to show videos and talk about them. So maybe I'll talk about some of my videos and things in the future. So I've expanded my capabilities on this live show of ours. Also, if you've reached this point, please subscribe. It's really all I ask. And don't forget that you can join the channel. There's a join button right down there. Hit the join button. If you join at Illuminati and Cognoscenti levels, we have a pen pal group, which is a lot of fun. I get so many different letters from you guys. So that is fun. Someone said, I'm going to answer this question. I forgot Asvine. Yeah, I haven't written with it yet. So it's in a box. I can't rank something that I haven't used. That wouldn't be fair. I try to be fair. So, what an hour. This went so fast for me. Would you please let me know if you thought this was fun? I could do this with a lot of different things. I could rank pen models, inks, journals, all sorts of fun stuff. If you've enjoyed it, please let me know and I'll do it again. Thank you so much for watching. Catch my new video on Thursday. It's on the perfect business pen. Thank you for watching. Much love. And I promise you, we will see each other again further up the road. So take care of yourself and have a good night.